Anna Power was half of one of Providence's original power couples. Anna's daughter Sarah was known for her intellect, her creative gifts, and her comely beauty, as well as for a few notable eccentricities. She wore a small black casket around her neck and conducted seances in her home.
Oh yes. Can you feel it?
Sarah also had a heart condition, which she, self-treated by inhaling ether. Sarah, a word if I may?
Not now, Mother.
Totally tripping balls.
Alas, Sarah's husband, the poet John Winslow Whitman, died, but as Sarah's mother noted, Rhode Island boasted of many eligible bachelors.
I own a textile concern in Pawtucket.
Well, lottie frickin' da.
Mrs. Power did not approve of Sarah's suitor from Baltimore, who visited her in Providence.
Oh, Eddie, you're so dark and emo.
To be continued. When last we left Sarah Helen Whitman of Providence, she was being courted by Edgar Allan Poe. Both he and Sarah were published poets, both had a fancy for all things spooky, and neither was a stranger to
mood-altering substances.
We joined them at Providence's North Burial Ground.
Have you ever done ether, Eddie? Rhode Island can be such a drag. Wouldn't it be creepy if we turned a corner and saw my grave, Eddie?
All this got the wheels in Mr. Poe's mind a-turning.
She's goth just like me. Her poetry ain't half bad. Her family might have some money. If I told her she has a smoking hot body, would she hold it against me?
Suddenly,
Sarah, baby, I'm nuts about you. Let's get married.
Hubba what? Eddie, slow down. Let's just have some kicks.
Alas, I must away. I got a train to catch.
will Sarah and Eddie marry? Will their relationship just be about ether and the macabre? Tune in next time when you'll hear Sarah's BFF, Margaret Fuller, say,
That Poe guy is a creep.
To be continued.
The reviews were in on Sarah Whitman's suitor, Edgar Allan Poe, and they weren't raving.
Eddie says he's ready to be married to me.
What kind of proposal is that? Besides, Poe is a drunk. If you want to clean up after someone your whole life, get a dog.
Maybe I could change him.
Yeah, right.
If he wants me that bad, he should want me bad enough to change.
Sarah, tell him your mother, on whom you depend financially, doesn't approve of the marriage. Tell him you can't marry him because of your heart condition. Tell him anything but I do.
Eddie is a real artist. He told me that together we could establish in America the sole unquestionable aristocracy, that of intellect.
Oy vey.
Earlier, on a railway car out of Providence,
Sarah will change her mind if I overdose on this laudanum.
To be continued. Sarah Helen Whitman has been warned that her suitor, Edgar Allan Poe, while possessed of a singular genius, is a dissolute man with no moral sense. But Poe persists in his desire to marry Sarah. We join the pair at the Providence Athenaeum Library.
If we are to be engaged, Edgar, you must stop drinking.
But I don't drink. Only wine, sherry, and tinctures of opium.
No, I mean all spirits. You must be as sober as a judge.
God's hooks, I'll do it!
Oh, Eddie! For reals? For me?
I give you my word, as an artist and a gentleman. And now I must away. Tonight, I lecture in Providence at the Franklin Lyceum.
Till anon, sweet muse.
Later, after the lecture. Next, the final chapter. In 1848, in spite of everything, Sarah Helen Whitman became engaged to Edgar Allan Poe. Before departing Providence, Poe gets his daguerreotype portrait made on Westminster Street. Watch the birdie! This portrait, which Poe gifted to Sarah, is in the Harris collection of Brown University libraries, along with a wealth of books, manuscripts, and other material pertaining to both Poe and Whitman. Poe died in 1849, 13 months after this portrait was made. His obituary in the New York Tribune was penned by one Rufus Griswold.
Hater.
Griswold made it his goal in life to cast Poe as an addict and nutcase. In 1860, however, the first critical defense of Edgar Allan Poe as an author was published. Its author was Sarah Helen Whitman. Sarah Helen Whitman died in 1878, and her permanent address is the North Burial Ground in Providence. Pay her a visit and show her some respect. She loved Eddie, after all.